Hey, so we're 4 days out from the U.S. election, and there's a lot of terms that Canadians hear a lot on the news we don't necessarily completely understand. So I kind of want to break it down just a little bit for our viewers. So they have a primer going into the first Tuesday of November. The magic number, obviously, is 270. That's the number of Electoral College votes that either candidate needs to win the election. The popular vote does not matter as much as you would hope it would, as Hillary Clinton learned sadly in 2016. So any combination of 270 votes gets you the White House. For example, California has 55, winner takes all. So if you win the popular vote in that state, you get the 55 votes. 48 out of the 50 states do a winner takes all situation. There's two, I think, Maine and Nebraska do a districting method, but what got Donald Trump the election was the basket of deplorables came out to vote for him versus the Obama coalition of 2008, 2012 that fell apart. That coalition they're hoping can be rebuilt for Joe Biden this time around. That was made up of white Northern voters, black voters, Hispanic voters, also called the Coalition of the Ascendant. So we'll have to see if they show up. Now, we know a lot of people have shown up for early voting in record numbers. Over 75 million Americans have voted early versus 58 million just a few years ago. And polls are suggesting that the people who are taking the time to vote early tend to vote Democratic. The people who show up and vote in line are Republicans. So that could set up a really interesting situation on election night because those votes that are cast early, ironically, aren't counted early in a lot of states. So Donald Trump could get to the podium early when the people who vote early, the Republicans, vote for him, and he could claim victory. And it's only later that the Democratic votes could get counted. He could say, hey, look, I won. And that could set up a challenge in the courts, which makes the three conservative judges that he has appointed to the Supreme Court, most notably, most recently, Amy Coney Barrett, could make that all the more important if this, in fact, ends up in the courts. And a lot of people are going to be referring to this as the red mirage. So it could look like he won on election night. It could be a mirage, and only later a blue shift could occur. Pollsters are saying, though, however, that it still looks like a Joe Biden victory. He's been leading consistently over this election campaign. He had a 7-point lead 40 days ago. He's looking at a nine point lead these days nationally. Although national polls can be misleading, what you really should be looking at is the polls in battleground or swing states. That's another term that we hear a lot of. Those are states that could likely go in either direction. Typically, you're talking Florida, Ohio, New Hampshire, but this year, even more states are up for grabs. Typically and historically, Republican states like Texas, Georgia, North Carolina, and Arizona. Those could go either way, making Donald Trump's path to victory all the less likely. But it only takes one election. He's 538, the website that sort of aggregates all these polls, is suggesting that Joe Biden has an 88% chance of winning. Donald Trump only needs one chance at winning. He did so last time. And so that's why we're going to be up all night long to see what happens.
I know we were talking about that. I was talking with Drew about that. I was like, I'm not going to sleep. I will not sleep because I'll be, watching everything that goes down. Who knows how long that's going to take. And then coming in here and following all the stories for everybody. Yeah. It's going to be fascinating.
Yeah, and just a reminder to our viewers, too, not only will we have special coverage on voting day on the Tuesday, but we will also be up for you bright and early on the Wednesday with all of the aftermath and the fallout, what states have been counted, what's still being done, if there was a winner declared, what that's going to look like. So I actually really love the day after elections, all the analysis, putting all the pieces together, weaving together all the individual stories.
And all the side stories, too, that are happening on the sidelines.
I cannot wait for Sidebar on...
I can't wait for Sidebar, too. I think I'm going to do a couple of them on that Wednesday morning because there are going to be so many Sidebar stories.
Yeah, it's going to be really good.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. If you like this, be sure to subscribe here.
And you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.